So in this tutorial we're going to start to talk about templating. We're going to show you how you can completely change the theme to anything that you want. Anything you can think of, you can change the theme to, okay? So here's the theme homepage we've got here, and I think to start off with we'll just touch on the actual theme homepage, okay? And what we'll do is we'll just quickly go ahead and go down to the template structure. So everything's built with Elementor, and Elementor is built with templates. So if you go to all, under templates and then all, you'll see all the templates that are set up here, okay? So we have a header, we have a footer, we have a credits page template, a media template, that's the media style, and we're going to go through each and every one of these, so don't worry, it might seem overwhelming, but we'll go through each and every one. But let's just quickly go ahead and go over to the header, and we'll go to edit with Elementor, okay? And what this does is it will edit the header for all of our pages throughout the site. But you can set conditions as well that we will touch on. So let's say, just for instance, we wanted to change the text on the upload button. You can just head over here, click the upload button, and what we can do is we can just change it to sort of click me or anything that you want, and then the link currently goes to the upload, but you can select it to link to any page within your website, and everything updates on the fly, okay? So we can then sort of extend the columns and update. And that will update the header throughout the site, okay? So it updates the header throughout the whole site. So you've got click me. Again, the same with colors. We could change the color here. Everything has a style associated with it, with a template. So we could give this a kind of green color. We can also change the text color. Border radius we could give. So we could give it a border radius of say 10. Okay, you can give it a box shadow. Okay, so you can do everything within the styles. This is what I mean. Anything you can think of, you can build within the template. Okay, so we've got our click me button here. Okay, so that's how you edit the header. The menu, it will pull in menus from a header menu that we've got set up, similar to how WordPress works. Search, it's just using the default full screen search for Elementor, and you can come in here and change the logo to whatever you want. If you didn't want the sort of extra meta tags here that go to categories, then what we could do, you can simply select the section and just delete it. Okay, so you have full control. Okay, and it updates throughout the whole website, so you can see now that that section has gone. Okay, so let's go ahead and exit to dashboard, and let's go back to templates and just take a look at the footer quickly. So all templates, go down, and we've got our footer template here, so we go to edit with Elementor. Okay, now we're going to be editing our footer here at the bottom, and here's where you can just come in and then we can select sections, we can remove stuff. So exactly the same as we did with the header. If we wanted to come in and just change the background color, we can go to style, change the background color to a lighter blue, okay, sort of something like that. Okay, and you can see how you have full control. Okay, and it will update on the live site as well. Okay, so you're updating live. So let's say we've got our home page. I'm going to exit to the dashboard, and you have your pages. Okay, so pages can also be built with Elementor. So under settings, sorry, and if we just look at reading, you can see that we've got a home page set to movie demo site, so it's set up to that. So if we go to pages and go to the actual page, we've got movie demo site here. So it's edit with Elementor. Okay, and you can see you always have your header and footer set because we've set them up within the template. Let's just go ahead and just delete these sections. So delete and delete. So we've completely deleted all the sections within the home page. Okay, so as you can see, give it a second, it's completely deleted these sections within the home page. So we've got a full blank canvas to work with now. So what I'm going to show you is what you can do is you can create a section. So we can just create a structure. So this will be a section point within the theme, and then if you click here, we have widgets. Now we've built a whole suite of widgets. If you start to type in OTT, you'll see all the selection of widgets that we've got. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to drag in the slider. Okay, now this is a slider widget, and here you can add items. So we could add an item to one of the videos in our website. So we could just go to Vimeo. So this is just added up with Vimeo. Now if we wanted to remove the space, we can change this from box to full width. Okay, and then columns, we're going to use no gap. Okay, so what that does is that gets rid of the gap. Okay, so simple column extending the columns. Okay, and now if we click on the slider, this is where you can add more items to the slider. Okay, content, you can show the wave on the slider, we can remove the wave. So this is the wave at the bottom. Here's where you can change the height. So we can change it to a different aspect ratio. The slider header position, I mean, it doesn't really matter with the image that we've selected because it's just right in the middle, but you can change the image, okay, and then you can decide what you want to show, whether you want to show the paragraph. You can remove it so we haven't got the paragraph, and you can add titles. So everything can be edited within this theme. But what we can do is if we go to style, we're not doing the wave, but under slider design, here's where you can edit all the slider text. Okay, so we could come in here and we could say we want to keep it white, we want to change it to say 45, let's do it a little bit bigger, 55, and then we want it to be bold, so 55 bold. Okay, now we can just change the margins to however we want, and the meta color we can leave, and the meta typography, but we can also add, let's say we want to add sort of some bottom space to it. Okay, so we're spacing out our slider. Okay, so that's how it works. So let's just add another item. Okay, and what we'll do is we'll go ahead and go to AVOD. So we've got an AVOD, and then you can just switch them around by simply dragging and dropping. Okay, and then it updates the structure. You may need to do a refresh on some of them, but if we run over here now, take a look, you can see we've got our slider, advertising, okay, and we're scrolling over to Vimeo. So that's how it was to set up the slider. So let's say we want to start adding tiles. So tiles are kind of the main structure of the theme, and you can click a section, and let's add a whole full width section again, and under widgets let's start to type OTT, and then find the tile section here. Now just drag out the tile section. Okay, and here's where we can select our browse type. So we'll go to examples. Okay, and now this will start to pull in our examples. Okay, now you can save and just take a look on the home page. So we just see how it's updating live. You can see we've got our examples here. So you can see it's not laid out very nicely at the moment, but what we can do is you want to give it a full width. Okay, no gap. Okay, and what we'll do is we'll start to style the inside. So we'll go in here and we'll give it, say, a padding of right 60 pixels and left 60 pixels. Okay, click update. Let's go take a look. Okay, so we're starting to get the kind of layout correct of our videos. So let's actually start to style the slide. Okay, so here's where we can change all the design. So let's concentrate on the style for a second. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to global design, and first off we'll add a box shadow. So we've got a box shadow around the cards. Okay, you can change the box shadow to anything you want. We'll start to add a border radius here. Okay, so we've got like a border radius added. Here we can go in and go back to content, and under display we can take out some of the sections, and because we haven't got tags on everything at the moment, we can remove tags just to bring everything to more concise, and we can remove categories. Okay, so we're laid out like that now. Okay, what we can do now is if we go back to style and then go to content, we can then start to style up the content. So we can go to card, tile, text, typography, and then what we can do is say give it not 45, it's far too big, let's go to like 20 pixels. Okay, and then what you can do is update, and then you may need to run kind of refresh or actually look it on the website, because sometimes you just need to refresh it up. So let's go to header design, typography, and now this can be a nice large font. Okay, so we can add that to here. Sorry, wrong one. Content header, tile design, 25. Let's add it a little bit. Oh, 25 is good, and we'll make it bold. Okay, and that looks nice. And then what we can do is let's click on the main content, and then we can just add kind of a margin top and bottom of say 40 pixels. Okay, just to give it some space. Okay, and let's go back to style. As you can see, the content I've made that far too big, so I used the wrong one. But what we can do is click back on it, go to header design, and let's change this back to a sensible size. Okay, so it's set up. There we go, and we've got our headings back. Click update. Okay, and now we're set up here. So let's go ahead and change the color of the navigation just so it fits in with the site. So under the slider, go to global, and then under navigation background, let's change it to like white color. Okay, and the navigation text, we'll change it to a black color. Okay, so it's starting to look nice now. Let's go to tiles and let's change it from 5 to 4. and then let's also give it a bigger space of say 30 pixels, okay, and then update. So if we come back, okay, then we've got it and it's starting to look really nice, it's starting to lay it out, and we've got our style design, everything's going to be working with more info, okay. But as soon as you've styled up one, then what you can do is as simple as it might be worth running a refresh every now and again, okay, then you get your refreshed version. But what we can do now is we can literally just, oh, let's just quickly show you can change these card types to a hover, so it's kind of like a Netflix type hover. That won't show in the editor, but if you update and then come and take a look, it will show in the actual theme. So we can change to hover, mobile, or just an image. So we can have an image. So there's a couple of different designs, card, and then you can change the actual picture. So portrait, some might not have a portrait image, but you can go ahead and add that. Square, but you have full control over how you add the content here, okay. Let's just add it back to landscape, okay, and click update. And now what I wanted to show you was you can simply right click and duplicate, okay. Now that duplicates it down, so we've got exactly the same tile row, but you can change it from examples to featured, okay. So you're now going to be calling in the featured category. So this is how you pull in and you organize your tiles, and you can completely configure and update them however you want. You have full control over this theme, okay. You can do anything within this theme. There's lots of different widgets that you can play around with. Anything that Elementor does, then you can do. So you can add sections within the theme for like call to action or anything that you want. You simply add a section with the plus, and then what we can do is, this is quite handy here, is a little navigation window, but let me just show you how you can add a background image to this, okay. Background image, we could give it a full width, no gap, and a min height of say 300 pixels. Okay, so we've got 300 pixels. Okay, here let's just center the background. Okay, so we've got a centered background, and then update. And then what's pretty neat with this bit is you can actually drag and drop the sections between each other, okay. So you can see we're just going to drag and drop the sections here and put them in between each other, so you can move them around. You can see how we're moving them up and down, okay. And then update, okay, and then we've got our section here, okay, and we can move that margin if we want. But you can see how we're completely styling out the theme, and these all work independently. So now we could come in and say we just want this to be a 3 tile count, like that, okay. And then within this one we could say stuff like we don't want to show the paragraph, you know, and update, and then update the main theme, okay. And this is now set up here. So that's just a very basic introduction of templating and just how we've set up and changed the home page. You have full control. You can come in and edit all the styles and change anything within these themes with Elementor. Now we'll be going in depth with the templating. That was just a kind of first initial tutorial.